How good was the 1.5 global anniversary? That is the question I'll be answering today as we go through and make a huge review, just going over the entire anniversary, 10 to 15, maybe 20 minute video. I don't know, this may be a long one, guys, but buckle in as I cover the anniversary. If you do enjoy the content, please hit that sub button. I know it's been a little while. I usually try to post every 1 to 2 videos, but thankfully, honestly, this is low-key a good thing. Burnout for just doing too much anniversary content kicked in right as we have our biggest dead periods in the game. So we're going to be going through everything. Thank you for those who have been on for the ride. Road to 1K starting. Let's go. Okay, man. So anniversary, we can start all the way from the beginning. So immediately they kicked off revealing that Yuji was coming, revealing that we have the 10 daily free pulls that we like to have, and they immediately gave us what do you call it? They gave us the I'm forgetting the codes. Yes, we got codes leading up to anniversary, and of course, we got Blue Yuji and the reveal that he will be dropping that week in the game. Pretty exciting time. I was on a hate crusade for Blue Yuji the entire time up until his release and on his release, even after I pulled the character. But of course, we got the story event. We got a good amount of cubes. So we were able to get this friend invitation thing where you're able to get up to 3,000 cubes, which is very good for new players. And they gave us 3,000 cubes just off of login, which was very good, as well as giving us Yuji tickets, which is also really good. Yuji tickets, 20 in total. I pulled him, I think, off of tickets. If you pull them off of tickets, that's really good for you. And we also got these missions. They gave us a lot of these. I will note that a lot of these missions throughout the anniversary. I think we got like 4 in total, but this one specifically gave us an SSR guaranteed ticket. But these missions are extremely good for new players because they give a ton of rewards in bulk, and they introduce some new things. But part 1 of anniversary, this is Gojo isn't, I don't know if he counts as part 1 or part 2, but I'll just count Blue Yuji as part 1. Part 1 is very standard. I feel like, you know, they just like gave us Blue Yuji. Now, one thing I do want to talk about, imagine this imaginary realm just dropped, right? The Choso imaginary realm with this random banner that nobody asked for dropped. I'm pretty sure this is how JP operated as well, but didn't leave us in the greatest spirits because it was kind of a dead period. They pushed back Summer Gojo's drop. It was supposed to be 4 days after Blue Yuji, but global devs decided that that's too good to be true and pushed his drop back, which is probably why the dead week is hitting so hard right now, because we were already getting semi-dead weeks. I like to count imaginary realms as dead weeks because they are the most copy and paste unfun thing I've ever seen in a game in my life. Unless you're doing the SP battles and like trying to get the highest score, then it's just actually slop. So yeah, they gave us an imaginary realm instead. I will dock a couple points for that, but we'll get back to that. Like, that was a very interesting choice, and I will say it was not a choice we will look back fond of, because like pushing back Gojo's drop like a full 7 days was absolutely insane, and it did leave the game feeling dead. So we'll up the dead week counter to 1. Now, Gojo, he drops, right? People are extremely high because this is a Gojo character. Now, I tried to drop a video telling people do not summon for him for obvious reasons that if you watch the video, you will know. But a lot of people summon for this guy because he is a Gojo unit, and at the end of the day, he is cracked. He is insane. Again, 20 tickets in total. And now that we've got Gojo, I can talk about the new event that both Gojo and Yuji introduced that I will go down fighting, saying that this is one of the worst, or if not the worst, just system this game has ever introduced in general. Because with the SB system, you have to have your character at certain awakening levels for them to receive their full strength, instead of them having their full kit unlocked on release, which is how all characters should be going forward. And thankfully, they didn't do this in part 2 and part 3. But that, for me, just dropped the anniversary in total down just a couple knocks for me. So coming out of Gojo and his drop, they did redo the event that had dropped with Summer Yuji in specific, which granted us even more cubes. So coming out of Gojo's drop, the things that I would note is that 1, it was not feeling I would say as hype. Like the hype gaps were like kind of smaller because Gojo's drop was definitely pushed back, and the Imaginary Realm, even though it's free cubes, I feel like they could have just dropped that with Gojo, because I don't think Gojo originally dropped with anything. We had to wait like another 2 days for his actual event to, drop, So again, that was like things I will knock for them for, because I feel like they could have balanced out like the pacing of the anniversary better, because they would just go fast and slow, and it was like, I don't know, kind of confusing, especially near the end when we get near the end of the anniversary. But in terms of giving out cubes, that is one thing I will give the anniversary. I feel like they did a decent job of just giving out cubes during the entire event of the anniversary, and we'll just push through and see. So they did drop the um anniversary reruns for the original first anniversary, and of course this isn't really a Simonon banner. I wish they dropped this with the Imaginary Realm and let the Imaginary Realm give tickets to this banner instead of the red one, but that is besides the point. Honestly, even though they dropped this back, delaying it because it was supposed to drop before anniversary, I'm not sure how to feel about that, because we did lose a week of cubes, but at the exact same time, this be dropping in the middle of anniversary, since it doesn't stay for that long, means you can make better decisions during the anniversary for summoning on these guys or not. So there is that. Again, very weird pacing that they chose. We did get our Grand Exorcism battle. I don't know if this dropped late or not, but yeah, I'm just saying the pacing was very weird. But then we did get another Phantom Metal thing where it basically unlocks another character. So if you're like new or free to play or anything, you could have unlocked 2 characters all the way to level 144 free, because we had got an event like a couple months ago, like 1 or 2 months ago, where they just gave it to us in our box, this level up thing. So that was very huge. Now we can keep on scrolling here. Again, very interesting pacing, but we did get the Megumi and Nobara. Now, I'm trying to make sure this was about a week-ish later. Again, it felt like everything was pushed back and slower than how JP dropped, because JP, like, they kind of spammed through anniversary really quickly, but this anniversary felt extremely dragged out. So, yeah, Megumi and Nobara dropped, pretty hype. Of course, tickets were they were great, because we got 20 again, which was huge, because usually the second part, I don't know if they actually get 20 tickets or not. So that was fantastic. They did delay the August roadmap, and of course we got the character kits. We did get the Calamity event, which I do say this event was extremely anti-free to play. I'm not going to say anti-free to play. I'm going to say more like it's such a skill check. It's like a hard skill check. I feel like if all they had to do was make it to where it's 2 colors, just for most people to enjoy this event. But like, so for someone like me who's missing like maybe 1 character, that could get me over the edge to get like the score that allows me to get the rec bit and the dupe. That was extremely frustrating for me, but a lot of y'all benefited from my video. So yeah, this event was annoying, but it was definitely fun for some people, and it was like a breath of fresh air for a lot of just players in general, because we all need new events. And then we got, of course, the Haijo rerun, and after that, that's about it. We got like 2 more of these things, these waves, or maybe this was the last wave, I'm not too sure. But like, again, the cubes they gave out were extremely generous during the anniversary. But how I would rate this anniversary, like just off of pure like just review, like out of 10, I would give this a 5. And before you get mad, okay, in the video in the beginning, I called this a review of the global 1.5 anniversary, right? With that being said, global 1.5 anniversary started almost 2 months before anniversary. Okay, I think it was a month, but it started like a month before real anniversary. It started with Green Nanami just dangling, and we had multiple just weird, almost basically dead weeks in between now, from then and now. So there's like a month of just filler, nothing anniversary level that dropped from Green Nanami, which was a pretty long time ago at this point, from Green Nanami all the way to now. Like, this was honestly a 7 or 8 out of 10 anniversary, simply because if you think about it from the game's perspective, they don't want to face end of service, so they want to save characters, right? for the next bigger anniversaries. So summer was a good idea. Of course, the reception for this wasn't good because of the stats. Just off of money alone, you can tell this anniversary didn't do well. But they tried something different, and I will honestly respect that. The systems they introduced weren't the greatest, but they tried something new, and they brought in a lot of new, fresh cubes and better ways for new players to get into the game and get resources off rip, which was good to me. But one thing I will dock specifically Global for, which is why it is sitting at a 5 out of 10 for me, is the fact that for a month and a half, we waited for anniversary. They announced it a month and a half early because they messed up the Urame drop. And it was pathetic, bro. Nothing. We just like dead weeks. And then, we get a character, get all hype, Yuta, Nanami, all that good stuff, right? That is hype, but like, that's not anniversary. Anniversary is not supposed to be operating on a regular content schedule. So why they called Global Anniversary 1.5 anniversary a month and a half before it actually happened will always elude me, and will be one of the dumbest decisions I've ever made, I've ever seen a game make. I know a lot of you guys literally forgot that Global 1.5 anniversary started almost 3 months ago at this point, because it's August, like it's the end of August, like 3 to 4 months ago at this point. We have been in Global 1.5 anniversary for so long, quote unquote, that it's like, what are we even doing anymore? So yeah, that is why it will get a wow. That is why it's going to get a 5 out of 10 for me in my books. Again, they did do a lot of stuff well with what they had. I will always say that, but come on. 1.5 anniversary was like so long ago. The global devs really messed up this anniversary. So strictly speaking from anniversary's perspective, they messed up. That is what it is. I'll see you on the next one. Hit that sub button if you enjoy it. This took so long to make just because school's been extremely hard, all that stuff, burnout, all that stuff. But I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.